أعزائي مشاهدي الفضائية القبطية، أهلا ومرحبا بكم في برنامجكم خبر وتحليل. عندنا خبرين النهاردة. الخبر الأول نشرته مجلة كندا اليوم أو كندا توداي، وكانوا بيعملين تغطية عن أحد برامج الفضائية القبطية، هو برنامج اليوم السادس، وكانوا بيغطوا الحلقة الثانية اللي كانت بتتكلم عن الصعوبات اللي بتواجه الصيادلة في كندا. عايز أقول لكم إنه بعد الحلقة دي ما نزلت في المجلة أو حصل لها لينك على المجلة بتقول، أو القائمين على المجلة بعتوا قالوا لنا إن الحلقة الصفحة بتاعتهم الجزء ده اتشاف من 160 ألف مشاهدة. فطبعا ده شيء جميل، بنشكر كندا توداي على إنهم اهتموا بالفضائية القبطية وببرنامج اليوم السادس. الخبر الثاني النهارده هو خبر واخدينه من جريدة جود نيوز الكندية، وهو عن التغطية اللي عملتها مجموعة من النشطاء المصريين لاحتفال باليوم المصري داخل أروقة البرلمان في مقاطعة أونتاريو. الفكرة جت ازاي؟ انتوا عارفين ان مقاطعة أونتاريو الحكومة فيها هي حكومة ليبرالية، وواضح الاهتمام بالجاليات العربية. فابتدوا الحكومة المعارضة أو الحزب المعارض اللي هو الحزب الكونزرفتيف، البي سي كونزرفتيف، أو الحزب المحافظين المعارض، ابتدى يفكر يجهز الانتخابات اللي بعد حوالي 2 و4 شهور. ابتدى يفكر يتواصل مع الأقليات أو مع الإثنيك جروبس أو الجهات المتداخلة في المجتمع الكندي. فابتدى يفكر في الجاليات العربية، وابتدى طبعا بالجالية المصرية، وابتدى يخلق ايفنت أو يوم اسمه اليوم المصري. خلينا قبل ما نبتدي نتكلم عن اليوم المصري وفعاليات اليوم المصري في أروقة برلمان أونتاريو، خلينا نشوف المشهد اللي جاي مع بعض.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. Ton histoire est une épopée et plus brillants exploits, et ta valeur deux fois trompée protégera nos foyers et nos doigts. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
بعد نجاح الحزب الليبرالي في الوصول لكل طوائف المجتمع الكندي، وكسب الانتخابات لفترات متلاحقة، والاسبوع اللي فات كان في بيسموه البادجت داي، كان بيقر المصاريف للمقاطعة في أونتاريو والموازنة العامة بتاعة المقاطعة. كان في اهتمام واضح من البي سي كونزرفتيف، الحزب المحافظين، انه يهتم جدا بكل الاثنيك جروبس الموجودة اللي بيتكون منها المجتمع الكندي، واهتم جدا بالذات الجالية الناطقين باللغة العربية. فكان الاهتمام الأساسي بالمصريين، ابتدى الفكرة بالمصريين، وعارفين أن المصريين عندهم فكر احتواء كل الجاليات العربية من اللبنانيين أو السوريين أو بقية الطوائف العربية أو الجاليات العربية وكل الشرق أوسطيين في المجتمع فالكندي. ففكروا يعملوا يوم، الحزب المحافظين أو البي سي كونزرفتيف يعملوا يوم المصريين وسموه The Egyptian Day، اليوم المصري، داخل أروقة البرلمان في أونتاريو. وكان في احتفالية وتنظيم لهذه الاحتفالية، طبعا بيقودها مجموعة من فريق عمل على رأسهم غادة ملك. وغادة كانت عندها إمكانية أنها تحتوي كل الجنسيات العربية، فاستوعبت معاها في اليوم المصري أن يشارك معاها لبنانيين أو لبنانيات، وكمان يشارك معاها سوريين. خلينا نشوف المشهد ده، واحنا قدرنا نتقابل الأول مع بقية الجنسيات العربية اللي جت تشارك المصريين في اليوم المصري. نشوف المشهد ده.
والنهارده واحنا في اونتاريو في البرلمان في اونتاريو بنحتفل ببادجت داي، وجات لي فرصه ذهبيه ان انا اتقابل بكوزات. اهلا بيك.
يا هلا فيك مجدي.
كوزات، ممكن تعرفينا باسمك بالكامل وتعملي ايه النهارده؟
أنا كوزات داغر جنيني، أصلي لبنانية وبشتغل بالأوتريتش ديبارتمنت مع leader of the opposition party Mr. Patrick Brown. One of my communities, the Coptic Egyptian community. So tonight we're proud to host you guys. عاملين first reception ever in Queen's Park. وإن شاء الله you'll be happy to see what we have done.
النهارده الايجيبشن داي بيحتفل البرلمان في اونتاريو بالمصريين، وكوزات واحده من ضمن المنظمين لهذا اليوم ولهذا الاحتفال. ليه انتوا فكرتوا تعملوا اوتريتش للجاليات العربيه، وايه الجديد في كده؟
مثل ما بتعرف حضرتك مجدي وبيعرفوا المشاهدين، الجالية اللبنانية، السورية، العراقية، المصرية، نحن يعني عدد كتير كبير، ويمكن الانجيجمنت تبعنا بالباست بالمجال السياسي ما كان مثل ما كان لازم. بقى أنا بلشت مع باتريك بالليدرشيب كامبين من شي سنة ونص، وهو كتير حابب الموضوع انه reach out to Arab communities as a whole، وانا I'm humbled to be the advisor on those communities. يعني بنحاول قد ما فينا engage the youth, engage the young people, the newcomers. ومثل ما بتعرف نحن عاداتنا كتير قريبة من الكونسرفاتيف بارتي، سو عم نحس في كتير قبال من الطرفين. يعني نحن بنحب to host you over، وانتم كتير انه متفائلين وحابين تجوا لعنا، so we're very proud of that movement.
في حاجتين، في تعطش من الجاليات العربيه للدخول في مجال السياسه بس ما كانوش عارفين الطريق، وفي حاجه تانية من باتريك براون ومن البي سي بارتي انهم عايزين يوصلوا للناس دول ويقدموا سيرفيسز ليهم بشكل مختلف. فمتهيألي انت بتقدمي الرول ده انك تقربي للطرفين وبتبتدي تحطي طرق جديده للتفاهم ما بين الجنسيات العربيه ومهتمين بالسياسه بالذات في الحزب الكونسرفاتيف. مظبوط؟
اكيد انا هذا يعني الرول الاساسي تبعي، انه اقرب جاليات قد ما فينا للكونسرفاتيف بارتي اوف اونتاريو. والتجاوب كثير مثل ما قلت لك انه كثير بجنن، كثير نحن متفائلين وكثير حابين انه يكون عندنا مرشحين ب 2018 من الجاليه، من كل الجاليات العربيه. وعم نشوف في كثير ناس يعني، وفي كثير منهم موجودين معنا الليله، انه حابين وعندهم كواليفيكيشنز. ومثل ما قلت لك قبل، الليدر كثير متفائل وكثير حابب انه يكون عنده ريبريزنتيف من كل الجاليات العربيه عنده بالكوكس 2018 ان شاء الله.
الكونسرفتيف بارتي ابتدت تهتم جدا بالاثنيك جروبس وبالذات الجاليه العربيه، لانها في تزايد مستمر وعندها زي ما قلت دلوقتي تعطش للسياسه. انت معاكي مجموعه ولا انت لوحدك في المجموعه دي؟ احكي لنا.
اكيد نحن السياسه بدمنا، خاصه يعني بحكي عن حالي نحن اللبنانيه، بس انتم كمان مصريين مثلنا. نحن بالاوتريتش يعني عم يعمل شيء باتريك براون كثير غير عن الليدرز السابقين. يعني عم reaching out to all the communities. أنا مثلا هلا بالجاليات اللي معي وصلنا للكلدان للأشورية، يعني جاليات ما كان حدا سامع فيهم قبل. عم يضحك هون هنري، أكيد يعني الجاليات العراقية كانت يمكن ما كانت تعرف إنه الكونسرفاتيف بارتي موجودة، أو ما كانوا يعرفوا شو نحن البوليسيز تبعنا وعلى شو نحن على أي أساس بننتمي. سو أنا كتير إنه فخورة بالرول اللي عم بشتغله، وفخورة إنه عم نفتح كل الأبواب. We're welcome everybody and we're here for everybody. يعني كتير فخورة إنه بمثلكم ببرلمان هون بكوينز بارك.
إيه البلانز بتاعتكم الفترة الجاية من هنا لغاية 2018؟
يعني شغل هيدا
عايزين تنجيج مور من الجنسيات العربية، هتعملوا إيه؟
اكيد مثلا الليله اول مره we're hosting Egyptian night، هيدي ما عاملينها قبل بكوينز بارك، ومثل ما بتشوف النمبر كتير حلو، وبتشوف انه الكاكس هلا بتشوفوا شويه فرج من الحفل. الكاكس موجود معنا بعدد انه كتير كتير كبير، مع انه اليوم بادجت داي، يعني في كتير فضلوا يجوا على الريسبشن بدل ما يروحوا يعملوا اشياء غير. عندنا كتير ام بي بيز موجودين معنا، هلا بتشوفهم تتعرف عليهم. ومن هلا ل 2018 بحكي عني ونيابه عن الليدر باتريك براون، حابين نزور قد ما فينا جاليات انه نتعامل مع الجاليات العربيه، ان attend their events وهن attend our meetings here at Queen's Park. يعني حتشوفني over and over and over.
ده شرف لينا وانا اتشرف بيكي اكيد.
Thank you إلك. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having you today.
Thank you لكل المشاهدين، وان شاء الله بنشوفكم soon. Thank you.
شكرا. وبنشكر كوزات وبنشكر تيم العمل اللي معاها لاستضافتهم لل The Egyptian Day في برلمان أونتاريو. وعلى هامش استقبال البرلمان في أونتاريو لل Egyptian Day، كان معانا برضو لقاء مع أحد ضيوفنا في الجالية السورية. نتعرف بحضرتك.
أنا مهندس عزيز كوكي من النادي السوري.
أستاذ عزيز أهلا بحضرتك.
أهلا فيك. يا هلا.
الكونسرفاتيف بيحاولوا دلوقتي تو انجيج او يرتبطوا اكتر بالجاليات العربيه، والنهارده عاملين الايجيبشن داي، واكيد سوريا في الرادار وفي الاستعدادات. انت شايف الوضع السوري والجاليه السوريه بتعمل ايه من نشاطات في كندا، وممكن تكون ازاي مرتبطه بالسياسه اكتر من الوضع اللي احنا فيه؟
هلا مثل ما بتعرف حضرتك في ازمه بسوريا وفي وضع ما مستقر. كندا مشكورة قامت بجلب أعضاء وعدد كبير من السوريين اللي حاليا بلشوا بيتوافدوا تقريبا ابتداء من ديسمبر ولا زال حتى الآن. العدد كان ابتدأ بحدود ال 25,000 سوري. سمعنا أخبار مش أكيدة أنه رح يتزاد لحوالي 40 أو 50,000 مع نهاية السنة. اللاجئين عم بلشوا بالتوافد، عم بيحاولوا يكون لهم دور بالمجتمع الكندي، شوي شوي بيبلشوا يبنوا حالهم. واكيد هاي الخطوه كثير مشكور عليها الحكومه الكنديه، انه بمساعده السوريين اللي هلا كجاليه سوريه نحن بلشنا يزيد العدد عنا. بتمنى انه نحن نقدر نكون ايد واحده حتى يكون لنا صوت، حتى يكون لنا رأي، حتى يكون لنا أشخاص بيعبروا عنا سواء بالبرلمان أو من الجالية العربية بشكل عام. وصلتنا نحن الدعوة لحضور الإيفنت اليوم بالبرلمان، برلمان أونتاريو، مع leaders of البي سي عن طريق السيدة غادة ملاك اللي هي من الناس المنظمين للإيفنت اليوم Egyptian Day. حبينا نشارك، حبينا نكون موجودين، حبينا نعلن وجودنا، ونحن مستعدين انه نكون باي ايفنت، باي شيء بنقدر نساعد الجاليه، نقدر نقدم اي خدمات، نقدر نكون اعضاء فعالين بالمجتمع مع الجاليات العربيه الثانيه الموجودين بالمجتمع الكندي المتنوع. نحن مستعدين نقدم هالمساعده طبعا.
25,000 refugees, Syrian refugees are coming on the road actually now to Canada. ايه الاستعدادات النادي السوري لاستقبالهم وحاجز اللغه العربي مع الانجليزي ومشاكل كتير قوي بتواجههم؟ ازاي انتم بتذللوا العقبات بالنسبه لهم؟
هلا كنادي بشكل عام ما كان عنده الدور بشكل مباشر. الدور صار عن طريق اشخاص اللي موجودين، والحكومه بحد ذاتها قامت بتامين الانتربريترز الاشخاص اللي ممكن يساعدوا. ولكن مساعدتنا نحن رح تجي هلا بالخطوات اللاحقه. النادي هو رح يكون المظله اللي بتجمع السوريين بمختلف انتماءاتهم، بمختلف اطيافهم. نحاول نقرب الوجهات النظر اذا قدرنا نقربها، لانه بتعرف صار في شرخ وصار في انقسام بين مؤيد ومعارض، بين مع او ضد. دورنا رح يكون هلا نحن بالمرحله الجايه انه نحن نقدر نلم اللي وصلوا، نقدر يكون النادي يكون البيت اللي هو بيجمع السوريين، ونقدر نعمل جاليه يكون لها صوت. هذا هدفنا بالاساسي، انه اذا كنا متفرقين ما حدا رح يسمع صوتنا. بس اذا تجمعنا، اذا كنا ايد واحده نقدر نوصل صوتنا، سواء نحن بشكل جاليه سوريه او بالتعاون مع الجاليات العربيه. نحن اليوم جايين مع الجاليه المصريه عن طريق السيده غاده، نحن داعمين ونحن رح نكون واقفين معهم، وان شاء الله هلا بتقوى اكثر العلاقات نقدر نكون ايد واحده بالمستقبل القريب اكثر.
استاذ عزيز انا بشكرك جدا على المداخله دي، شكرا ليك.
شكرا لك كابتكسات اللي هن دائما بيتابعونا وبيكونوا معنا بكل المناسبات بكل الايفنتس. شكرا كثير.
شكرا ليك. شكرا.
وزي ما شفنا مشاركه فعاله من المهندس عزيز والجاليه السوريه في الايجيبشن نايت او الليله المصريه في البرلمان في اونتاريو. كمان شفنا مش بس مشاركه، لا تنظيم من كوزات لبنانيه الاصل، لكن بتشارك في اليوم المصري وهي عضو بارز وفعال في تنظيم الليله المصريه دي من A to Z يعني. كانت المحرك الفعال في اليوم ده، وكانت من اسباب نجاح الليله دي، ما فيش ادنى شك في كده. من ناحيه تانية كنا بنشوف بقى اعضاء البرلمان في اونتاريو، وبنشوف كمان المتخصصين انهم يقوموا بالدور توصيل افكار الحزب المحافظين او الكونسرفاتيف بارتي للجاليات العربيه. كان معانا مقابله مع المايسترو بتاع التنظيم العلاقات ما بين الجاليه العربيه وبين الحزب الكونسرفاتيف اللي هو اسمه ريك نيكولاس، وكان معانا كمان لورين كو المنتخب حديثا عن منطقة أوشوا وويدبي لحزب الكونسرفاتيف وعضو برلمان في أونتاريو، عشان يحكوا لنا ازاي هم فكروا في الفكرة دي، وازاي هم هدفهم انهم يتعلموا من الخبرات العربية ويشوفوا الطريقة ان الخبرات العربية ازاي هم يستفادوا بيها في الحزب المحافظين، وبالذات في اليوم الأول لليوم أو الليلة المصرية داخل أروقة البرلمان في أونتاريو. خلينا نشوف التقرير مع ريك نيكولاس ولورين كو.
And I'm also the outreach person for primarily the Middle East. I'm so excited to be that outreach person for those people.
Outreach person for the Middle Eastern. That's really new to hear that PC Conservative Party, they are focusing on a different ethnic group, especially the Middle Eastern and the Arab speaking communities. What actually you are doing to have this outreach with the Middle Eastern, especially the Egyptian community today?
Well, you know, the first thing I'd like to say to your viewers is marhaba. And inshallah, we will continue to be successful in our outreach with what I call new Canadians, because you know they have left their homeland to in fact come to Canada and start a new life in many cases, and I admire their motivation, I admire their inspiration, I admire their business sense, their business acumen, and of course as the outreach for primarily the Middle East, I'm very, very excited. I've met so many wonderful people, and I'm looking forward to meeting even more.
Middle Eastern, but especially Egyptian by nature, they are engaged with lots of politics, and they are really need to know the roads or the ways to somebody to show up the road for them to be engaged with their new life, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, I think the biggest thing that with Patrick Brown as our leader for the PC party, one of the things that we're concerned about is again fighting for the future for Canadians, for Ontarians, especially for our new Ontarians, new Canadians as well. And of course, you know, we're very concerned about ensuring that their health and well-being is addressed. And of course, we're very, very happy with the fact that, you know, as a caucus, you know, we are making specific inroads into many, many different ethnic outreach, or as I call it, new Canadian outreach. Very happy about that.
What are the new ideas to engage more people?
Well, you know, for example, tonight is the very first time that we've had what we would call an Egyptian night. And of course, we're engaged with the Muslim community as well as with the Coptic Christian community here. It's the first time we've done that here. This has never been done before. We're throwing out what I call the welcome mat. And you know what I found is that as I speak to many of these people, they understand, you know, their culture, their people far better than we do. I'm learning from them, and inshallah I will learn more as a result. But you know what? There are some very good, very keen, very bright, intelligent men and women that I've met along the way who I think could very easily have a political career with the PC party.
How do you think that the PC party will gain more from engaging the Egyptian community or even the Western community?
Well, I think that what we need to do, especially as part of Western civilizations, we need to understand where people come from. We need to understand their hardships. We need to understand what they've gone through. We have to walk in their shoes. And by spending time with them, as I call breaking bread with them, it's very, very important that you know, they develop a trust with us as we learn more and more about their culture.
People, especially the new immigrants, they are not concerned mainly about parties, but they are more concerned about finding jobs. And today, our budget day. What do you think about the future in year 2018 when you are trying to find a place in the party in the future?
Well, that's 2 years and 4 months from now. Not that anyone is counting. But I will say this, that we're very concerned about the job prospects in this province right now. With rising interest rates, rising hydro rates, it's making life almost unaffordable. You know, people have to choose between, do I heat or do I eat? And that's really, really important, especially for seniors who are restricted in their incomes. The other concern that I have, of course, is that we have businesses who are, in fact, leaving Ontario because of high hydro rates. And just the cost of doing business in Ontario is almost prohibitive. We have some of the highest hydro rates in all of North America right here in Ontario. That's not conducive to jobs. That's not conducive to business. That's not conducive to families who are just trying to scratch out a living to be able to provide for their families.
Lots of Egyptian community, they are professional. They are pharmacists, they are physicians, and they have their own business. And I have seen that some of them, they are really complaining from the current situation with the Ontario government that they cannot afford to operate their business. What do you think, from your viewpoint in year 2018, that you can provide more profit advantages for them?
Well, you know, one of the things that this government is wanting to do, and we've been fighting this all along, is what they call the Ontario Registered Pension Plan, the ORPP. Now, that apparently is supposed to take effect January 1st, 2018. It was 17, and now they push it out to 18, so they really don't know where they're going with it. But, you know, as we talk about the entrepreneurs in the Egyptian community, that is really going to impact their businesses, because they will then be forced to pay an additional 1.9% on the wages of their people, as well as their people having to pay an additional 1.9% of what they're earning. So that is going to cause some very serious issues, you know, as it pertains to businesses trying to stay in business. And what that means is that if their costs go up, perhaps they have to do more with less, and less means perhaps fewer jobs. And we're not in favor of that at all. We want to get Ontario back on its feet. And the way it's headed right now, unfortunately, it's going in the wrong direction, despite what this Liberal government is telling us.
4.5 billion, the deficit of Alberta budget, and cumulatively there are lots of deficits here in Ontario. And speaking of that, we are in the budget day. How do you see this going in the coming years?
You know, I'm very, very concerned about not only present day, but I have grandchildren. I'm concerned about my great-grandchildren, of which I don't have any yet, and my great-great-grandchildren, which I may not be around to see. However, I'm very concerned about their future. You take a look at when this government came into power in 2003, the debt, the accumulated debt was $125 billion. Today, just 13 years later, that debt has risen from $125 billion to now $308 billion. That's unheard of. that's unheard of. It ranks probably amongst the highest in the world in terms of debt. And it's not a very positive thing at all. And how this government's going to get out of it, they talk about how they want to help the province, and they talk about all these wonderful problems, or I'm sorry, all these wonderful programs, and our children and our great-grandchildren and so on down the line. It's a deep hole, and it keeps getting deeper, and we need to put a stop to that as soon as we get into power. We have some plans that we want to implement. And, you know, and we're working on, right now we've got the what I would call the initial, I guess, the initial picture of how we want to see Ontario look. And we'll be working quite diligently over the next couple of years on a plan whereby we can begin to implement some of our strategic ideas so that Ontario will get back on its feet again.
Nick, thank you so much for today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. Shukran.
One more thing, shukran.
Shukran.
Shukran. Thank you for Nick. Thank you. Today I have a chance to meet with Mr. Lauren Coe, the MPP for Haute-Oshawa. Nice to meet you, sir, today.
Well, I'm very pleased to meet you as well. I got sworn in earlier this week, February 22nd to be exact, and had the opportunity to ask my first question related to health care of the Premier, health care cuts, in particular in my riding in Whitby-Oshawa. And then later in the week, I had the opportunity to participate in the discussion of our budget motion. I was able to speak in support of our finance critics motion.
Congratulations for by-election first, and I would like to tell us more about that.
Well, it was very exciting to win the by-election by a margin of 53%.
53%?
53%. Oh. It was the highest margin in at least over 20 years in that particular riding. And it was an indicator of how people felt in Whitby-Oshawa about the Wynne Liberals and their particular policies and programs related to high electricity rates and the fire sale of Hydro One, and furthermore the health care cuts. People sent a very strong message to the Premier and her government about how dissatisfied they were, and a very strong indication of how life is harder under the Liberals.
And today we have celebrating the Egyptian Day in the Ontario Parliament. It's our first event to happen in the Parliament, right?
Well, it's the first event that I'm attending subsequent to today's Ontario budget that was tabled in the legislature. So I'm looking very much forward to participating in that event in a few minutes, and then making my way back to my riding in Whitby-Oshawa.
4.5 billion the deficit of Alberta budget, and how about Ontario? What do you think?
Well, I think what we've heard in the today's Ontario budget is that it still hurts residents in Whitby-Oshawa in the area of higher taxes, and also still cutbacks in health care. And there's still no real economic plan to deal with the significant deficit that is higher than what the Financial Accountability Officer of Ontario said it should be. So thank you very much.
Much for having us today.
All right, thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
من ساعة ما تخش البرلمان في اونتاريو تلاقي بقى الجو المصري بقى. يعني احنا قالوا لنا ايجيبشن نايت افترينا. من باب المدخل بتاع القاعة بتاعة البرلمان تشم ريحة الأكل المصري، محشي ورق عنب، ملوخية وطشتها، كفتة وكباب. ومش بس أكل مصري، ده كان فيه بقى إيه مدعم بالأكل اللبناني، ومدعم. القاعة كانت مليئة مش بس بالمصريين، بكل طوائف الجنسيات العربية. كان في أرمنيين، كان في سوريين، عراقيين، لبنانيين. كانت فعاليات اليوم ده من مدخل القاعة ريحة الأكل وكمان الموسيقى العربية. كان في عزف موسيقي. تعالوا بقى نخش مع بعض القاعة ونبتدي مراسم الفعاليات بتاعة الإيجيبشن نايت، اللي هي اسمها إيجيبشن نايت، بس كانت بتحتوي بليدرشيب جميلة جدا. كل الجنسيات العربية وكل الطوائف العربية كانت موجودة. ونسمع مع بعض الافتتاح بموسيقى جميلة من الألحان العربية الأصيلة. نشوف مع بعض.
distinguished caucus members, we have Mr. Steve Clark with us, Mr. Lauren Cole. Congratulations on your victory. We also have Rick Nichols with us, and Andy Hutchins. Oh, Jack, how can I forget Jack McCarthy? How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Very good. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
Food's great. Distinguished caucus members, for the courage and conviction that you've shown in holding this government to account. We thank you for standing up for our seniors. We thank you for standing up for our children and for all hardworking families across this great province of Ontario. We say thank you. I am joined this evening by some esteemed members from our Canadian and Egyptian community. Today with me is Gada Malak. Gada? Can you hear me okay? Okay, terrific. And we also have with us Mr. Sharif Gorgi. Okay. Now, I'm over 50. I've got to put my glasses on here. Bear with me. I'm Farid Wasif, and I have the distinct privilege of being the MC for this evening's wonderful celebration. For those that don't know, my family moved from Egypt to Canada in 1968 to pursue peace and prosperity. Mom and Dad brought us to Ontario because they believed it was the best place in the world to raise a family and start a business. My late father, Lou, who was a pharmacist of over 50 years, and my mother, Antoinette, taught me that all good things in life can be achieved through hard work, through faith and prayer, and patience. I'm still learning to be patient. It's work in progress. Dad would often say, just work hard and be nice to people. Work hard and be nice to people. For nearly 30 years, I've done just that by serving the community of Stouffville as a pharmacist and carrying on in the tradition and values of my parents. My wife, Peggy, and I are raising a 12-year-old son, Nicholas, and a 10-year-old daughter, Casey. Many of you recall that I ran with you in 2011 and 2014. I did so to honor the legacy of my parents and to ensure for accessible quality health care and education. I did so to ensure for those looking for work could find it and to modernize our transportation system. To ensure that we have fair taxes for seniors, for families and small businesses. Is there an official page flipper here at Queen? No, there's not. Okay, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work. All right. Thank you. All right. To ensure that we build strong, safe, well-developed communities which respect our environment, our cultural diversity, and our heritage right here in Ontario. I did so to ensure for a fruitful retirement for my wife and I, and I'm on the Freedom 82 plan, which is only another 30 years away. Okay. And to fulfill the many dreams of my children. I did so to ensure that families today have the same opportunities that my family has enjoyed in the nearly 50 years we've been here. So, why are we here? We're here because this is the work before us, and we share a vision of a prosperous Ontario for all. We're here to share our stories. We are here to celebrate our Egyptian culture, and we're here to celebrate the significant contributions that Egyptians have made in Ontario. We are also here to celebrate long-standing friendships and the forming of new ones. Okay. So, who is the Egyptian community? Who is the Egyptian community? We are a community of proud Canadians that sees enormous potential in Ontario. We believe in a responsible government which is transparent and accountable. We value hard work, integrity, family, faith, freedom, and friendship. We love to laugh, and we speak from the heart. So this evening, we ask that you listen with your heart and enjoy Egypt.
Gift of the Nile, guardian of the past, capturing the hearts of people all over the world. Get inspired to start your own story, where it all begins. to Egypt, the most fascinating place on earth. Land of the pharaohs. Muse of the world. Travel back to ancient times. Hear the voices from the past. Marvel as you wander through what is widely considered the greatest outdoor museum anywhere on the planet. Meet the city of Cairo with its unique fusion of different cultures. Enjoy the all-year-round sun on one of the countless beaches. Lose yourself among the souks and markets to taste the flavor of Egyptian life. Explore the ancient tombs. Share the secrets from the past. Hold your breath as you stand before what is considered the greatest spectacle in the whole world. Live the Egyptian nightlife. Sail on a boat on the Nile. From east to west. From north to south. Visitors will find a unique place that will provide some of the richest experiences of their whole lives. Come and discover the land that has captivated the soul of the people throughout ages. An amazing trip you won't easily forget. Get inspired by the news of the world. Start your personal journey where it all begins.
Okay, wonderful. Is there a travel agent in the room? I'd like to go now. Okay, perfect. I need some sun. Next on our agenda is Gada Malak. She would like to address us all. A little bit about Gada. She is a senior manager with Deloitte who specializes in research and development tax consultancy. Between raising a young family and working in a highly competitive industry, Gada worked hard to become an active community organizer. She supported numerous community initiatives and volunteered countless hours to organize conferences, events, and rallies to raise awareness about key issues that matter to our community and to bring them to the attention of our elected officials. Her passion for building a better community led Gada to run in the 2014 Mississauga municipal elections, where she finished second amongst 6 other competitors. Please help me in welcoming Gada.
Thank you, Farid. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, it's good to know which way to go. Actually, I'm very excited to be here tonight celebrating for the first time an Egyptian night at Queen's Park. It is wonderful to be here tonight, and it is most wonderful that this first event for us at Queen's Park is happening in the special year of 2016. It would have been much nicer too if we had managed to schedule it on the exact date of January 28th of 2016, because this is a historic date. It actually marks the 100th anniversary for the first wave of Canadian women to receive the right to vote. That's not a phone, so it's a good news. It all started with the province of Manitoba, when Manitoba defied the rest of Canada and deemed women to be qualified persons under the law, thereby granting them the right to vote and hold public office. Soon after, the rest of Canada followed. Federally, it took until the year 1921 for most Canadian women to be able to vote, but you know, there was a group that was left behind. You know who that group was? The women of color. ethnic minority women had to fight for another 20 years to become able to vote by the year 1940. So, this just goes to show us, 1940 hasn't been a long time since. So in such a short time, we've come a long way. It also helps us appreciate all the people who have fought hard to protect and fight for the rights and freedoms of Canadians, which by now has become an integral part of Canadian culture and Canadian mindset. For Egyptian Canadians, it's been a journey of about 60 years, where both men and women have found no limit to success in their new Canadian home. And judging by the outcome and what has been accomplished to date, one can conclude that the image is bright and definitely promising. Nevertheless, we need to recognize that there's still a deficit in our social and political engagement. Well, a few months ago, only a few months ago, Patrick came on board as the leader of the Ontario PC. And ever since, in such a short time, he's been reaching out to the different communities. He's been connecting with the different communities, inviting them here like we are here today. And I believe we all understand what Patrick is trying to accomplish. His message is that we need to all be united. We need to be united around the issues that matter and that need to be dealt with if we want to restore the greatness of Ontario. Actually, we should give a big thank you to Patrick, even though he's not here with us. Thank you. Because this leadership style is very vital and is timely as Ontario faces the challenges we're going through now, economic and social challenges caused by the irresponsible win policies, and as Ontarians find themselves challenged for survivability. Now, the good news is, when people find themselves in the epicenter of the challenge, they tend to fight back. And this is exactly what we're witnessing. We're seeing our people more determined, more than ever, to be engaged, to be influencing the process, the policy shaping. What they want to do is, for one, to hold our government accountable for spending our tax dollar responsibly, but most importantly, they want to preserve the goodness of the Canadian culture that they now call home. Thank you.
Thank you, Gada. Thank you, Gada.
Thank you very much.
If I can just have you hold that for a Yes, I do. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Look at me getting into trouble already. Sharif, my good friend Georgi, is a third-generation pharmacist. He graduated from the Faculty of Pharmacy at University of Cairo in 1998. Like most Egyptian immigrants, Sharif came to Canada with his family in search of a better future and equal opportunities. Sharif is married, and he and his wife are raising 2 young children. Sharif is an active member in his community and in the profession of pharmacy. He has managed and owned numerous pharmacies and has also held progressive corporate leadership roles with top pharmacy chains such as Shoppers Drug Mart and Rexall. He was elected for 4 consecutive terms to serve on the Council of the Ontario College of Pharmacists and our regulatory body of pharmacy here in Ontario. In 2011 and 12, Sharif was elected as the president of the college, marking the first international graduate to achieve this honor. Sharif is now serving the profession through his role as Vice President of Pharmacy at the Ontario Pharmacists Association. Last year, Sharif was selected from among 650 candidates through an unprecedented online voting of more than 45,000 votes to be one of Canada's top immigrants for 2015. We want to welcome Sharif.
Good evening, friends. distinguished guests and colleagues. As Farid noted in his introduction, I was truly honored to have been selected last year as one of Canada's top immigrants. What's really special about such recognition, though, is far beyond the personal achievement. In fact, I see it more as an opportunity to showcase the values and contributions of newcomers to the Canadian society. These are values that I have been taught all my life by my parents. See, both of my parents are in their 70s, and they are still working until this day, every day in their community pharmacy in downtown Toronto. I see their tenacity as stemming from their core belief in raising children who understand and appreciate the value of hard work, active contribution to the community, and freedom of opportunity. My parents, however, are just one of the many examples of typical Egyptian parents who make numerous sacrifices so that their children can grow up to have a better future, and they too can become active, socially responsible citizens, engage in their communities and in the democratic environment that we all enjoy. In fact, the Egyptian Canadian community is filled with many examples of tangible contributions to Ontario's economy and to the well-being of Ontarians. Just to give you an idea, there are currently 33 Coptic churches in Ontario with construction values and assets of almost $250 million. We also run 3 private schools and community facilities that employ over 300 people. In Mississauga specifically, as an example, we have counseling and training centers and 4 offices to service newcomers. We have 6 daycare centers for children and a daycare center for seniors. We offer free dental clinics for the unable, a shelter for abused women and their children, in addition to running food banks and Meals on Wheels programs. I can certainly keep going on, but what I'm trying to showcase here from listing those examples is the fundamental belief of our community to work hard and to support those who are able to work hard. And for those who, for no fault of their own, cannot work or are in need of help, we collectively have the responsibility and duty to support them. It's those kind of values and principles that demonstrate the many alignments between the Egyptian Canadian community and the Progressive Conservative Party of Ontario. And we truly believe that by working together, united, we can win the next election, and united, we can put Ontario back on the right path for sustainable prosperity, competitive economy, fiscal responsibility, and more importantly, transparency and accountability. Hear, hear. Thank you.
Cosette is responsible, as you know, for community outreach for the Ontario PC Party, which focuses on various communities that include the Middle Eastern and French communities. She's a board member of Our Lady of Lebanon Church, responsible for public and government relations. Cosette promotes women involvement in politics and has been very vocal on a number of international women's issues. She has worked hard to raise awareness on mental health through education for Middle East and Africa. Cosette is a mother of 2 young boys and is vice president of the Parent Teachers Association at her children's school. Recently, Cosette has been elected as president of the Scarborough Agincourt Provincial Riding Association. And with that, please help me welcome Cosette.
Thank you, Farid. Can I say a few words in Arabic? باللبناني. أهلا وسهلا فيكم جميعا، وأنا كتير فخورة أكون هون عم مثل الجالية المصرية. Switching back to English, thank you so much for being here, for accepting our invite. A few people to acknowledge. The reason we're all here is, of course, the leader, Mr. Patrick Brown. He's done an amazing job. He's done an amazing job with all communities, especially our Arabic community. We've gone where nobody ever else has been in the communities. We've been to Assyria, to Chaldania, to Iraq, to Syria, to Jordan, and I want to thank my colleague, Adam Ibrahim, who's also sharing these communities with me. So, thank you, Adam. And there is also another person responsible for all this, a very proud Egyptian, Mr. Walid Sleiman. So please, let's welcome him. We're very humbled to be here. We have a lot of work to be done. And looking around, I see a lot of beautiful faces. I see caucus members. Thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Ko, congratulations, Mabruk. So that's a great indication of things to come in 2018. Inshallah, we will win and our leader will become premier. I just want to acknowledge quickly, and I'll pass the mic over, Mr. Ibrahim Elias, who's the new treasurer for the PC Party of Ontario, Lebanon Akid. So give him a round of applause. We also have a great force behind the scenes. He's hiding, Mr. Robert Faisal. And last but not least, Mr. Bob Stanley, who's the Executive Vice President of the PC Party of Ontario. Welcome. So I'm not sure if you guys know, but Mr. Brown assigned different caucus members, different communities. And just a quick story about our next speaker. Mr. Rick Nichols here and I got to meet over the leadership. He's from Leamington, and there's a lot of Lebanese in Leamington. So we traveled together signing members for Patrick. And the minute Mr. Brown said, who wants to take charge of the Lebanese, he volunteered. But so little did he know that he's going to have the whole Middle East. I'm sorry, Mr. Nichols. But he enjoys it, and he's learning Arabic. So, Mr. Rick Nichols, welcome to the podium. We're very proud to have you. The Lebanese adopted you, and I'm sure the Egyptians will do so as well. Shukran wa ahla wa sahla fikum.
Thank you. Well, Cosette, Farid, Gada, Sharif, welcome. And to everyone else, welcome to the first Egyptian get-together that we have here at Queen's Park in the PC Caucus Board Room. To my friends, I want to say marhaba. And to others, I want to say assalamu alaikum. It is an honor and a privilege for me to be the outreach person for, well, as Cosette had mentioned, it started with Lebanon, with the Lebanese people, the Muslim and the Christian Lebanese, and then it began to grow and grow. And Patrick finally said, Rick, why don't you just take the Middle East? And I said, that's all right, because I've had a chance to sample their food. And, oh my goodness, I was telling Ronnie and Aziz, you know, it's so good. It is so good. So, again, it's an honor and a privilege. You know, I've traveled around. My hometown is Chatham. Leamington has got a large Lebanese community there. I've had opportunities to meet with people from the communities in Windsor and in London and here in Toronto as well. Looking forward to being in Ottawa next weekend, and perhaps, inshallah, we'll have an opportunity to meet with some of the Lebanese and the Muslim communities up there as well. Looking forward to that as well. But you know, one of the things that I've noticed with the people is that one of my goals is one day to travel to the Middle East, to Egypt. After seeing that video presentation, who could say no? Oh my goodness. You know, I often wondered though, back in the days, how did they build those pyramids? They didn't have skyscrapers, they didn't have those tall cranes and so on. I thought, wow, it's amazing how they do that. But you know what? As you have adopted Canada and Ontario as your new home, I would hope that you adopt me as your outreach for new Canadians, your specific outreach for from the PC Caucus. I'm looking forward to an opportunity of going over to Egypt and visiting Egypt and Lebanon and other countries over in the Middle East as well. So again, thank you so very, very much for being here today. It's an honor and a privilege. And it's also an honor and a privilege for me to share another story with you, and that is, it happened probably, now I'm going to say 10 years ago, where an individual, in fact, was elected in the riding of Barrie, and he served as an MP for the Conservative government. One of his colleagues was a fellow by the name of Jason Kenney, and the way I describe it is that Jason had quite a plan for outreach, and he mastered that plan. Patrick would say, some might say, well, he took a few pages out of Jason Kenney's book, and I said, no, he didn't. He took chapters out of it. And he has shared his vision for our party, and it is so exciting to see what he has done. And I look around the room and I see Jack, you know, and I also see Steve and, of course, Lauren and Randy. And they have responsibilities in outreach as well with their various new, I call it new Canadian communities. And the one thing that I've noticed, and one thing that I really, really have appreciated, is the fact that the people that I've met, I'm going to say my people, okay, not only are they professionals, but I'm going to tell you something. We need you. We need you. And come 2 years and 4 months from now, not that anybody's counting, but after today's budget, it can't come soon enough. We're looking forward to having people from your community to sit with Patrick and Lauren and Steve. I double clutched in that, Steve. And Randy and Jack and myself and the rest of our caucus members, that you'll sit in caucus with us as we have an opportunity to move. Yeah, we'll move. We're going to move across the aisle where we will form government, and it will be a majority government, and we will have members from your community and other cultural communities, new Canadians, as part of our caucus. Because without you, we won't be successful. But with you, we can move pyramids, as they say. So it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to introduce to you the man that will take us to that place in history where progressive conservatives will once again rule this province and get it back on its feet, because you possess and have and believe in the same values and principles that we as conservatives, progressive conservatives, believe in. We need you. You need us. Party of Ontario. Patrick?
A YouTube presentation of Rick doing the chicken dance in Leamington. Cosette hasn't referenced that in terms of the travels in southwestern Ontario. But I wanted to say good evening, Massa Alher. It is a pleasure and a privilege to be with you tonight, celebrating the Egyptian community in our inaugural Egyptian night at Queen's Park. I want to thank all those who made this possible for your effort, Cosette and your team, and Paul and Adam, everyone that volunteered on this. Shukran for your time and dedication to this. I'm proud to say that Canadians of Egyptian origin and heritage have a special place in my heart for a number of reasons. One of my best friends since childhood, my campaign chair during the leadership, of course, is my great friend Waleed Solomon, and Waleed comes from a family. Waleed comes from a large family, but his father always told me that I was an honorary Solomon, so I sort of feel that I'm half Egyptian. And you can't say no to Waleed's father. But I also wanted to say a few things about the community. Egypt is a beautiful country with so much history, and you know, we all have life goals. I know one of mine is to visit Egypt. You know, Rick Nichols was joking that we can move pyramids. I think that's the one thing you can't move. You can move mountains easier than pyramids, but I think history has shown that being one of the only remaining of the 7 ancient wonders, that history has shown you can't move pyramids. You know, whether it's the Nile River, whether it is the success of Egyptian civilization, some of the contributions that Egyptian culture and ancestry has delivered to mankind has really been phenomenal. And preparing for tonight, we're looking at some of the accomplishments. Paper, locks, keys, all creations of Egyptian creativity. You know, where would we be without locks, papers, or keys, especially at Queen's Park? We wouldn't get very far. So shukran for that contribution. As I look around this room, I see doctors, pharmacists, lawyers, and teachers from the community. You know, as Rick Nichols said, we were really excited about finding members of the community to present themselves as MPPs. You know, we have photos on our caucus wall of our MPPs. We don't have an Egyptian MPP, and I want to change that. I want to have members of the Egyptian community as MPPs in our caucus. The reason we're having this Egyptian night in our caucus room here at Queen's Park is because this is your house. This is your democracy. This is the place where, as you can tell today, the provincial budget, was released. This is the building that sets the course for how our government designs the province. And we want you to write that with us. We want the Egyptian community, we want the Coptic community to have a say in the type of province we're going to be, because we fundamentally believe there is so much skill, knowledge, and depth in the community. The more stories I hear from the community, the more I marvel at how inspirational it is. I wanted to share one story that I found particularly interesting. I read a fact about Egypt. An Egyptian father named his newborn daughter Facebook to commemorate the role of Facebook playing in the 2011 Egyptian revolution. Her full name is Facebook Jamal Ibrahim. I thought, what a story to highlight the role that social media can play in the modern day, and the incredible role that social media played in that momentous year of 2011. I am told there's no relation to Adam Ibrahim, who's here, although he may want to say there's a distant relative there. He just got engaged, by the way, so congratulations to Adam Ibrahim. So I wanted to conclude my brief comments by saying, by quoting the late Pope Shenouda III, who said, "Egypt is not a country we live in, but a country that lives within us." So I really believe the values ingrained in you are the values that the progressive conservative family has at its core, has in its DNA. And we're on the path to do great things for this province, and we want you to join us in that journey. We have Lauren Coe here tonight, and Lauren just got elected as an MPP in the riding of Whitby-Oshawa. His margin of victory was the largest in 25 years, despite the fact his political opponents threw everything in the kitchen sink against him. Something special is happening on the ground across Ontario. People are craving change. People are craving a new path. And whether it is Steve Clark talking in Brockville, Randy in Perth, Jack McLaren in Ottawa, we are hearing the currents of change, the need for change around the province. And I want the Egyptian community to be there with us. I want the Coptic community to be there with us as we build that better vision for Ontario, as we build a caucus that is reflective of Ontario today. And when we have that honor, I hope that when we have an Egyptian night again at Queen's Park, it will be one floor down. That's the government caucus room. And that I will have photos on our wall of some of you in this room tonight honoring your role as elected representatives, honoring the role that you're playing in our political democracy. So thank you for being here tonight, and I look forward to breaking bread with everyone and enjoying the conversation.
Thank you. So I thank you, Patrick. We accept your invitation. We're here to stand with you, and we're here to walk with you on this new path. We believe there is enormous potential that can be unleashed here in Ontario. We're committed. We're raising families here. We're behind your leadership. We're behind your hard work. And so we didn't need an invitation, but we thank you for it. We join you. Thank you. I was remiss in acknowledging, can we just have a show of hands, the Canadian Syrian community who are here? Okay. Thank you for joining us. There's an old saying, many hands make for light work, so we're going to need more hands to do work here in Ontario, to bring it back to where it once was. So we thank you for standing with us. In efforts, we have a little something for you here.
Thank you.
Rick Nichols, where are you going? Are you going to eat again? Get up here. We have something for you. Mr. Patrick Brown, please accept this gift on behalf of our community.
And thank you, Jared, for being such a perfect MC.
Thank you. Certainly, certainly. So that this concludes this portion of this evening. We ask that you stay and for some fellowship and friendship, and there will be pictures, opportunities to take pictures with the leader and caucus members. So again, thank you for coming.
كان عندنا فرصة ذهبية ان احنا نتكلم ونقرب شوية من فكر الكونسرفاتيف والليدر بتاع الكونسرفاتيف بارتي باتريك براون. اتكلمنا مع ريك نيكولاس، اتكلمنا مع لورين كو، اتكلمنا مع المجموعة دي كلها. كان جات لنا فرصة برضو نتكلم مع زمايلنا من المنظمين للايفنت زي الدكتور فؤاد واصف ومنسق حملة باتريك براون ووليد سليمان، وطبعا المايسترو بتاعة العمل ده كله غادة ملك. ممكن يبقى مش بس ريحة الأكل المصري ولا صوت الموسيقى المصرية في أروقة البرلمان، ممكن يبقى صوت مصري، المرأة المصرية الكندية ممكن يكون ليهم صوت جوه البرلمان نفسه، مش بس ريحة أكل أو صوت موسيقى. خلينا نشوف التقرير اللي جاي.
We have a chance to meet with Mr. Patrick Brown, the leader of the BC Conservative. Nice to meeting you, sir, today.
A pleasure to be on your show.
How do you feel being a leader of the Conservative Party and the opposition party?
Well, you know, it's a great honor. This is a party that helped build Ontario, that has some of our most successful premiers in the past, premiers like Frost, Robarts, Bill Davis, and we're hoping to carry that legacy on, building Ontario, making us stronger, given the difficulties we've had under the years of Kathleen Wynne and Dalton McGuinty.
I have seen that you are doing a tremendous effort to engage the Middle Eastern, the Egyptian, the Arab-speaking community, and the Coptic community in particular. How do you manage to do that?
Well, I really believe that the Coptic community shares conservative values, that family matters, that faith matters, that tradition matters, that work ethic matters, and you know we share a lot of commonality. And so I say to the community, join us in this journey. And I can tell you the community in great numbers has been saying yes. We want to participate in our political process. We want to be involved in the PC party, and I believe that in 2 years and 4 months, not that I'm counting, we're going to see some MPPs elected from the community.
What kind of more creative ideas to engage more people?
Well, you know, I think inherently you have to use every tool possible to reach people, whether it's social media, Facebook, Twitter, TV, cultural media. I think we need to use every tool available to engage the community and say, seize the opportunity.
Today is a budget day, so can you elaborate more about what you think about the budget for Ontario? Speaking of budget today, Alberta, they have a deficit was like $4.5 billion. But we understand that for reasons. But how about Ontario, and how about the cumulative deficit that we have?
Well, I think it's one step forward, 2 steps back. You know, the government has some announcements that they were sort of shiny distractions, but overall, you know, the government is now over $300 billion in debt. We have $1 billion of interest payments every month. We're seeing diminishments of healthcare and education. We're hurting. The province is hurting. We can do better.
You have mentioned in your wording the says of the Pop Shinood about Egypt. And tell me how you are inspired by the Egyptian pop.
Well, I really believe that the message is that although the community may have left their ancestral land and have arrived here in Canada, the values, the tradition, the history, it lives within the community in Canada. And I'm hoping that that beautiful culture, that beautiful ethic can be espoused here at Queen's Park. And I think that would be a beautiful flourishing of the community.
My last question, you have mentioned that you are hosting us in that small room. Is there any promise in 2 years now to have a bigger room for us?
If I have the honor to be Premier, I will host the first ever inaugural Premier's Egyptian Night.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you. We had a chance to meet with Mr. Patrick Brown. Thank you. We have a chance to meet with MC today, Mr. Dr. Farid Wasif. Nice to meet you today.
Hi, Magdi. How are you? Thank you.
Dr. Farid, how do you feel about the accommodation of Egyptian Day in the Parliament today?
I have to tell you, this is a historic day for our Egyptian community. We are waking up to the fact that we need to be engaged in the political process here in Ontario. Our future depends upon it, and our children's future depends upon it. So I'm so delighted, I'm so pleased. A lot of work went into this, and it couldn't have been a more perfect evening.
Egyptian values, Coptic values are the best fit with the conservative values, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Can you elaborate more about that?
At the end of the day, if you take a look at the Progressive Conservative Party of Ontario and what it believes in, it believes in family. And first and foremost, we're all family people. Our parents made tremendous sacrifices for us to enjoy a lot of this wealth and abundance. And now it's our generation, it's our turn to make these sacrifices for our children. When we take a look at the Progressive Conservative policies, they are extremely supportive of families, hardworking families, trying to get ahead, make sure your children have good quality education, making sure our parents have available health care, making sure that our children have access to university, and then when they leave university that there is work for them. So if you take a look at what they're trying to do and what we're trying to do, we're very much aligned.
Engaging people is not an easy job, right? And what are the plans in your mind to engage more people from our community to this Conservative Party and in the future plans?
Well, it's twofold. First, we have to understand what it is that we all want, right? We have to engage people and say, what are you looking for? What are your expectations? And then to educate them on why it's so important not only to vote every 4 years, but really it's our responsibility to explain to people when we say we'd like you to be engaged, we need to spell that out for them. What does that mean? And when we educate and we sit down with people and we say, it's important for you to be involved, it's important for you to have your voice heard. This is a wonderful country, and you saw Patrick Brown, his invitation to our community. He's welcoming us. He is sharing this house where policies are set that affect families for generations to come. And that invitation alone is a warm invitation for us to get involved and have our voices heard. So I think we, upon ourselves, the leaders of the community, need to go to the people, see what their expectations are, and then explain to them how to have their voices heard and how to be engaged in this political process.
We have noticed that Patrick Brown, even in his speech, that he is inspired by Bob Shenouda's essays about Egypt, about pyramids, about all the stuff. How do you feel about that when he was mentioning that?
I have to tell you, that really warmed my heart. You know, there are many politicians that come and go, but this guy is for real. This guy has taken the time to understand us, to honor our community, and to invite us. And that is, to me, speaks volumes about his sincere desire to engage us. And we have to follow his leadership. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for that time today.
Thank you, Magdi.
Thank you. كان معايا فرصة النهاردة أتقابل مع الأستاذ وليد سليمان العقل المدبر لحملة بيتر براون والكونزرفتيف بارتي في أونتاريو. أهلا بحضرتك.
أهلا بيكو أهلا بيكو.
ايجيبشن داي حاجة كبيرة قوي إن يتعمل يوم مصري للمصريين في البرلمان في أونتاريو. ممكن تحكي لنا شوية عن الفكرة جت إزاي؟
يعني بجد يوم جميل جدا والليدر بتاع البروجريسيف كونسرفتيف بارتي اوف اونتاريو باتريك براون يعني احنا فخورين بيه ان هو اولا عنده الاستعداد ان هو يفتح الكوكس روم. احنا هنا دلوقتي في الكوكس روم which is
مقر اجتماع الكونسرفتيف عادات للكونسرفتيف.
نعم بالظبط. شكرا. ف يعني هو عنده اولا استعداد وبعدين عنده ستاف واحد منهم مصريين واحده لبنانيه فعملوا الايفنت دي. فالايديا ان احنا يعني ان هو يتعرف على الجاليه والجاليه تتعرف عليه وان شاء الله لو في يعني خير في الاجتماع ده يبقى في a better relationship يعني going forward.
ايه خطتكم المستقبليه سنتين من دلوقتي؟ انتوا بتحضروا من دلوقتي للانتخابات في 2018 مظبوط؟
بقالنا من اليوم اللي هو انتخب فيه من سنه على الانتخابات في 2018 وحته كبيره من الاستعداد ده ان باتريك يتعرف على الجاليات الكتيره اللي في اونتاريو. هو بيتعرف على اللبنانيين والسوريين والعراقيين، وعمل افطار رمضان هنا. ف يعني طبعا ان هو يعمل حاجه مع الجاليه المصريه، وخصوصا الجاليه المصريه القبطيه، دي حاجه جميله جدا، وكانت يعني هو فخور بيها جدا، وانا كمصري فخور بيها جدا.
وليد انت سكند جنريشن ايجيبشن مظبوط؟
نعم.
احنا كلنا فخورين ان انت دلوقتي ليك دور اساسي ورئاسي في خدمه الكوميونتي وبتساهم بدور كبير. تقول كلمه اخيره لمشاهدينا في كوبتكسات، تقول لهم ايه؟
اقول لهم ان يعني انا ابويا وامي ربونا هنا. والدي جه في 75 هنا في كندا، وهم ربونا ان كل حاجه مفتوحه لينا هنا في كندا، وان يعني ما نفكرش باي يعني ان احنا نفكر
حزبي او محدود او
الطريق ده، لان احنا كل حاجه هنا في كندا مفتوحه لينا، وممكن نعمل اي حاجه هنا في كندا، ونبقى فخورين ان احنا مصريين، ونبقى فخورين على الاديان بتاعتنا وكل حاجه، بس ان احنا هنا ممكن نعمل اي حاجه. وانا اقول لكم يعني ان شاء الله كل اولاد المصريين وكل اولاد العرب يعملوا حاجات كتيره واحسن بكتير ان شاء الله هنا في
وليد انا سعيد ان انت دخلت معايا في الحلقه النهارده، وانا مبسوط جدا ان انا انت ضيفنا في الحلقه، واحنا كنا ضيوفك النهارده في الايفنت اللي انتوا عملتوه بتاع ايجيبشن داي في البرلمان الاونتاريو.
شكرا، كلك ذوق ان شاء الله، and we look forward to seeing كل المصريين هنا ان شاء الله.
ثانك يو وليد. بنشكر وليد سليمان منسق حمله باتريك براون والكونزرفاتيف بارتي في اونتاريو.
خلينا نشوف غادة ملك، المايسترو اللي انا بعتبرها المايسترو المهمومه دايما بمشاكل مش بس من الاقباط، كمان المصريين، ودلوقتي واضح اهتمامها بالجاليه العربيه في المنطقه اللي هي بتساهم فيها بخدمات كتيره. خلينا نشوف الكلمه اللي اتكلمنا فيها معاها.
وكان معايا في الحلقه النهارده في اليوم ايجيبشن داي المايسترو بيهايند تنظيم كل ده غادة ملك. اهلا يا غادة.
اهلا يا مجدي، ازيك؟
ايه اللي انت عملتيه ده؟ عمل رهيب، مجهود جميل، انجيجمنت من كل فئات الكوميونتي الايجيبشنز، كمان جبتي سيريانز واذر ايجيبشن كوميونيتيز within the Egyptian community. عملتي كده ازاي؟
لا هقول لك حاجه، هو كان مجهود مشترك، يعني كان في فريق وراء العمل، وعايزه اشكرهم كلهم الحقيقه، يعني كلهم اشتغلوا جامد وكلهم قعدوا وساعدونا. اللي انا كنت عايزه اعمله ان احنا نبتدي بقى نفوق. احنا محتاجين نعرف البلد دي متحركه في انهي اتجاه، واحنا عايزين نبقى فين. يعني انا اخر كلمه قلتها في السبيتش بتاعي، احنا نشاطنا ده كله اقصى حاجه هدفه ايه؟ ان احنا نحافظ على كندا اللي هاجرنا ليها، علشان هي دي الارض اللي احنا اخترنا نعيش فيها. فهل احنا فعلا عايزينها تبقى نفس البلد فيها نفس الاوبورتيونيتيز ونفس النجاحات ونفس الامان لاولادنا، ولا عايزينها تتغير؟ فالنهارده احنا بندعو الكل عشان يشاركوا معانا، علشان احنا لو ما بدرناش ان احنا نعمل التغيير مش هيبقى لصالحنا.
طب ايه الخطوه الجايه؟ الناس تبقى انجيج اكتر ازاي؟ في سنتين من دلوقتي انتوا ابتديتوا من دلوقتي تعدوا للانتخابات الجايه، احكي لنا ايه المطلوب من الناس؟
اللي احنا عايزينه ان الناس تبتدي تتابع اللي بيحصل. النهارده كان اصدار البادجت بتاعت اونتاريو، بنشوف بقى ايه التخريب او فلوسنا هتتصرف ازاي. الحكومه بتاعت كاثلين وين الحقيقه بيبعتروا الفلوس يمين وشمال، حاطين عقبات اقتصاديه طبعا للصناعه، عن طريق اللي هو الكربون تاكس والحاجات اللي زي كده. فاحنا الاقتصاد بتاع اونتاريو هيبتدي ينزل. احنا محتاجين ان احنا نفهم ايه اللي بيحصل عشان ما نجيش في الانتخابات اللي جايه ونغلط نفس الغلطه وننتخب حد عشان القصه بتاعته ولا الشراب بتاعه كان لونه عاجبنا. لا، احنا عايزين حد who knows how to manage money, our money، علشان البلد دي ما تنهارش.
يعني الكاتس اللي جت واضحه في البادجت النهارده من على الهيلث، على الاديوكيشن، رفع السجاير $3، لغي الاكتيفيتيز بتاعت الاولاد في المدارس، الهدايا اللي بتاخد $500 اتلغت، البنفيتس دي كلها بتتشال. الناس تعمل ايه؟
لا، هي الخدمات عماله تتقصقص لان الحكومه بتاعتنا عماله تصرف في العبيط. يعني احنا مثلا لسه بنقول صارفين 37 مليار دولار في انفستمنت بتاعت كهرباء، بنديها ببلاش للبروفنسز الثانيه لان احنا ما عندناش استخدام ليها، لكن بنجامل بقى الشركات والكونتراكتورز والناس اللي اصحاب الحكومه بقى، زي بالظبط ما حصل مع اليونيون بتوع الاديوكيشن، نقابه المعلمين، اللي ادوهم فلوس قد كده من غير وصولات اثناء المفاوضات ساعه السترايك، وقالوا احنا عارفين مصاريفهم كده بيننا وبينهم يعني، والفلوس دي في الاخر احنا ما نعرفش بتروح فين. النقابات بتروح ترجعها تاني للحكومه بطريق ان هم يساعدوهم في الانتخابات. فده نظام بيخلي البلد تتحول البلاد اللي احنا جينا منها، الكوربشن والفساد والجو اللي احنا بنحاول نخلص منه. ما نقدرش نتعايش بنفس الاسلوب ان احنا ملناش دعوه ان دي مش بلدنا، لا هي بلدنا ودي فلوسنا وده مستقبل اولادنا. ولو احنا ما فوقناش لايه اللي بيتعمله الجفرمنت دلوقتي وازاي ان احنا عايزين التغيير زي ما انا قلت مش هيكون لمصلحتنا.
النهارده في عدد معقول جدا شارك معاكي من المصريين. رساله تقوليها اخر رساله تقوليها في المشهد بتاعنا النهارده للمشاهدي كوبتك سات، تقولي لهم ايه عشان يشتركوا معانا في الايفنت اللي جاي؟
عايزه اقول لهم احنا اتبسطنا قوي وكلنا اكل حلو قوي، بس فعلا احنا تجمعنا مع بعض بيدينا حماس. بنبقى عايزين نعمل كده تاني ونتجمع تاني ونعمل ايفنتس اكبر، وبنحس كمان بالقوه واحنا مع بعض، وبنرجع ايام مصر ولمه مصر. يا ريت تبقوا معانا المره الجايه.
كانت معانا النهارده مايسترو الايفنت النهارده ايجيبشن داي في برلمان اونتاريو، غدا ملك. شكرا ليكم.
ثانك يو.
وزي ما تابعنا الايجيبشن نايت في برلمان اونتاريو وشفنا الفعاليات والمجهود اللي اتعمل من الناس المنظمين من كل الجاليات العربيه، اللبنانيين والسوريين، وطبعا اخص بالشكر المصريين اللي كانوا مهتمين بهذا العمل. لازم نطلع بقى بكونكلوجن من القصه دي. احنا جينا بلادنا، سيبنا بلادنا وجينا بلاد بعيده عننا، متحملين جو صعب فيها عشان نعيش في مجتمع امن وفي امكانيات وفي ما فيهوش كوربشن وما فيهوش مشاكل كتيره زي ما كنا عايشين في مجتمعاتنا القديمه. لو احنا هاجرنا ورجعنا تاني لهذه المجتمعات يبقى بالها احسن. انت ايه اللي جابك؟ لو انت جيت ولقيت ان 60 واحد ارهابي جايين من يحملوا الجنسيه الكنديه وجايين من غير ما حد يسالهم انتوا رايحين فين وجايين منين، جايين من داعش، كانوا بيخدموا في صفوف داعش وراجعين بيحملوا الجنسيه الكنديه وعايشين وسطنا النهارده، كلهم قنابل موقوته واقفه مستنيه لحظه الصفر بالنسبه لهم، ودي ما نعرفش امتى. ازاي تامن على نفسك في مجتمع في مشاكل اقتصاديه وفي عجز في الميزانيات بيتزايد يوم بعد يوم، وكل المميزات اللي انت بتقبلها في المجتمع الجديد بتقص منك يوم بعد يوم، وبتبقى بتجري على قوت يومك، بتشتغل من الساعه 6 الصبح ترجع لغايه الساعه 7 بالليل، 8 بالليل، 10 بالليل، عشان بس تكفي مصاريفك، ويمكن ما بتكفيش مصاريفك، وبتتحمل مجهود كبير قوي ان انت تصرف على كل مجهوداتك وكل تعبك من خلال السيفنج بتاعك لو انت لسه معاك فلوس من البلد اللي انت كنت جاي منها. لحد امتى هتبقى واقف واخد موقف سلبي؟ لحد امتى مش هتتحرك مع الوضع اللي حواليك؟ لازم يكون ليك دور ايجابي، لازم تشارك، لازم تفكر، تختار اي حزب، عايز تختار الكونسرفاتيف، عايز تشارك، عايز تبقى سابعة قوي وتختار الليبرال، عايز تبقى عادي جدا وتختار الكونسرفاتيف، عايز تبص للسماء وتختار اي حزب لونه حسب لونه. انا ما يفرقش معايا تختار انهي لون، احمر او ازرق، بس يفرق معايا انك لازم تتحرك، لازم تشارك، تختار الطريق اللي ممكن الحزب ده، زي ما كل حزب بيدور على مصلحته داخل الكوميونتي بتاعته، مفيش حد جاي هنا عشان مصلحتنا احنا بس، كل واحد بيدور على مصلحته. فلازم احنا كناطقين باللغة العربية نتحد ونشوف مكان لينا يكون لينا مشاركة فيه فعالة وإيجابية، تقدر تنقل مشاكلنا وتقدر توصل صوتنا وتقدر تساهم في صنع القرار اللي يقدر ياخد قرارات في مصلحتنا احنا ومصلحة المجتمع اللي احنا عايشين فيه، ونعيش فيه بسلام ونشارك فيه بإيجابية. وده بكل المواثيق وكل الأعراف وكل الأديان اللي احنا بنؤمن بيها، بيحثنا أدياننا ان احنا فعلا نتحرك هذا التحرك الإيجابي. أشكركم جدا على متابعتكم للحلقة دي، كانت فيها مواقف كتيرة، اتقابلنا مع مشاركين لتنظيم فعاليات الليلة المصرية في برلمان أونتاريو. دي أول مرة ولسه في فعاليات كتيرة جاية لكل الجنسيات الأخرى العربية وكل الجاليات الأخرى. خليني أشكر بالذات النهاردة في الحلقة دي مارلين في كاليفورنيا، لأنها تعبت جدا معانا في تنسيق الحلقة دي، بشكرها شكرا خاص جدا. وأختم طبعا فريق العمل معانا في برنامج خبر وتحليل، التيم اللي معايا وبشكرهم جدا، وبالذات على رأسهم مخرجنا المحبوب هنري. أعزائي المشاهدين، أشكركم على حسن متابعتكم حلقة النهاردة. بفكركم صفحتنا على خبر وتحليل، اتغيرت الصفحة بقت خبر بالعربي، خبر وتحليل، عشان تبقى سهل عليكم ان انتوا تدوروا على الصفحة بتاعتنا على الفيسبوك. شاركوا فيها معانا بآرائكم، بأفكاركم، بأي سؤال انتوا عايزينه، واحنا مستعدين نجاوبكم عليه في حلقاتنا اللي جاية. عندنا خبر وتحليل تويتر @خبر وتحليل، برضو صفحتنا موجودة على تويتر. تعليقاتكم وآرائكم هناخدها في عين الاعتبار أكيد، ومش هنتأخر عليكم في أي طلب تطلبوه في برنامجكم خبر وتحليل. بشكر عدد المشاركين على الصفحة اللي بيزيد يوم بعد يوم، احنا عندنا دلوقتي حوالي 1200 أو 1300 على الصفحة. بشكركم جدا على اهتمامكم ودوسوا لايك. أعزائي مشاهدي خبر وتحليل،